One second.
So that I guess while you do that, that light speed thing, it's funny that he brought it up because I guess I don't know the guy that's with him, the guy that's with Neil. I don't know what his background is, but it actually gets brought up a lot. Like that
of
prove
these
you have a
universes are you going to
simulation
land
is
in? The
to
first one that's
put
real,
limits on things.
or the gazillion that are not?
Well, yeah.
Just statistically, okay?
Am I drinking when we're playing this darts game?
Okay.
Because
then you missed entirely.
everything.
He's an actor. I don't know if he's got any other sort of like other background, but he's been in a movie.
No.
So
yeah,
there's something called Bayesian statistics where you're allowed to introduce information that you already have available to you, even if you didn't measure it to be true. So we establish the likelihood that one day we'll have the power to do this.
Right.
And then that factors into these statistics.
Okay.
So there's 1 in a zillion, you're the real universe, and 999 zillion to 1 that
you're a simulation.
Simulation. That convinced me. And I don't want to be convinced. I didn't like it. And I was just begging for somebody to give me an argument that was cogent enough to undermine that entire reasoning. And I just came across one.
Uh-oh. Who? Okay.
Okay. It's a good friend of mine, Rich Gott.
All right.
He was a colleague of mine back when I was at Princeton.
All right.
Deep thinker, likes calculating the ends of things.
Nice.
With Bayesian statistics. He's heavily quoted in this book, The Doomsday Calculation. And William Poundstone is a smart guy unto himself. And I am now convinced.
Now you're convinced.
Are you ready?
Okay, go ahead.
What do all these... So here is what convinced me we are not in a simulation.
Okay.
Are you seated?
All right. I'm seated.
Are you... Hold on.
I'm going to hold.
Okay. All right. What do all those simulated universes have in common?
They're simulations.
They have the power to simulate themselves.
That's what I'm saying. They're simulations.
No, they have the power to simulate themselves.
Right. Oh, okay. Yes.
That's what they all have in common.
They make a simulation.
They have that power.
Right. Exactly.
To simulate themselves exactly. Do we have that power now?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Which means that we can't send it in, we can't send ourselves into the future as a simulation.
Because we don't have that power yet.
So we can't continue the chain.
So either we are the real one,
right,
or we're the one in the chain that's still evolving to try to then make a simulation within their own world.
Right.
So the odds of us being a simulation goes from a gazillion to 1. I mean, to the likelihood of
right.
Gazillion, all right?
It flips.
It flips. 50-50.
Wow.
And I'm good with that. That changes my life completely.
Yeah.
Okay? And no longer are your kids going to say, Dad, it doesn't matter. We're in a simulation anyway. No, you got an argument. You have a rebuttal.
Exactly.
Now, a quick one.
I have to do my homework.
I go. Ready?
Go ahead.
Maybe these simulators have a side activity where they like reminiscing about days before you could simulate. That would be us.
So now we're Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. We're Pong.
We're classic.
Yeah.
Classic gameplay.
So maybe we're just entertainment, like a historical exercise.
Right.
That's possible in principle. However, let's look at our own conduct with that regard.
Okay.
All right, think of a movie as a simulation, just for the sake of this conversation, which it kind of is. Ask yourself, how many movies have been made in a time before we ever knew how to make movies? Relative to movies made in the era where we know how to make movies. You can do the numbers. It's small.
Oh,
yes,
sure.
there's Spartacus. There's the OK Corral.
Three Musketeers.
Those exist.
That type of stuff.
Okay?
Okay.
If we are any measure of the incentives of creating simulations, which all we can do with movies at this point, then they might have some historical thing, but there's way more interesting things and stories to tell in the era of simulations that exist post-simulation.
Right. And yeah.
So even if there are some period pieces that we might be, still most of these would be universes made after they could simulate themselves.
Right.
If our movie-making habits are any indication of anything.
So the chances are we're not a little offshoot, like a little side project.
We could be, just statistically, it's
Probably
not likely.
Not. Right.
Because we're throwing darts.
Right.
And most of the stories they're going to simulate are going to be the ones that are in the era of the time they could simulate themselves.
So that still brings us back to we're probably either the first or we're on our way to being the next.
On our way to being the next. That's
Right.
correct.
One or the other.
That's more likely than any other possibility here.
Wow.
And so I can now rest well at night.
So no simulation.
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm real. I think you're real. I think we're good.
Well, real recognize real. So yes.
There you go. That's
Real
the biggest
recognize
argument
real.
right there.
Recognize
Real
real.
recognize
There
real.
you go.
Chuck, fist
Yeah.
bump on
Well
that.
done. That's
Start
it.
talk.
Simulation
Yeah,
theory
signing it.
over. Okay. So yeah, that's like the most simple breakdown of it and how we get to the current belief that we either are or aren't, which is kind of funny because that argument on its own is we are or aren't, right? Which is 50-50. So like I was saying, Nick Bostrom did the whole thing in 2003 introducing this, but there were several instances in history that also like brought this up. So it wasn't like a one-off situation where like we know like video games exist now. Like this happened pre-modern tech. So like there's actually a book called The Butterfly Dream. I'm gonna fuck this name up, and I'm sorry. But it's by Zhang Zi, I believe. And this guy in there, Zhao, dreamed he was a butterfly, and when he woke up, he was not sure if he dreamed as a butterfly being a man, or if he was a man dreaming he was a butterfly. Like he couldn't tell the difference from being awake or in that dream. And then there was also I didn't have a chance to look into it, but supposedly the Indian philosophy of Maya. I don't know if that was a book. I didn't, like I said, didn't have a chance to look at that one, but that supposedly also supports simulation theory in ancient times. But there's a Greek guy, Mononymous, I think. He also mentioned back then that things that were existing almost seemed like they were painted, like just impressions or models that he couldn't really explain. It almost likened itself to like madness, essentially.
We'll return after these messages.
Yeah. So my question, Cube and Jeeper, how so looking at video games now, the amount of processing power it typically takes to run your average RPG, how much power and resources do you think it would possibly take to get to the point where humanity could run just one simulation, just one fully simulated universe?
Like the one like say if we were in one now, like how much RAM and GPU power does it take to run what we're living in, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like obviously like I'm not looking for specific numbers because that'd be ridiculous for you to try to figure out. But like,
I mean, it'd be a massive computer, past quantum probably.
Fallout 3 actually.
Welcome at Shadow
it's-
Games. How are you
Shadow says at least 4.
wait, what do you mean Fallout 4 did something similar to that?
So Fallout 3,
Oh, they had that. They had that one. I'll just let you finish. Yeah, that one vault. Yeah.
so it's basically like a big ass pod looking thing, and during the main quest line, you're supposed to find your dad. Well, turns out that he was in this little pod that was basically
now
like a VR headset.
Super Gary.
You're in this like little bubble type thing, and you go into the simulation to release your dad, but you're in kind of like the past, but not really. There's a YouTube video on it, Jeeper, if you want to pull it up. It's called Tranquility Lane.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, that one.
How do I not remember this?
It was major. It was like quest line.
Yeah, it was part of the main quest line.
Maybe I just killed him every time. I don't know.
I mean, I ain't gonna watch the
Yeah.
rest, the whole of it, but
End to their marriage. And we'll
Yeah,
talk.
this actually.
I'd like you to
Yeah, there you go.
Street, really? Always something to see and always something to talk about.
This
The-
feels familiar, but I don't remember.
Take care
it.
now.
Basically,
in Fallout 4, something similar to this also happens.
so while everyone was living in the vault during the, the nuclear apocalypse, they were living normal lives in their little pods. It was basically like plugged in Matrix thing.
That
Yeah,
little girl
basically.
is so scary.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm not gonna watch the whole
Get her out of
walkthrough.
here. Get her out of here. That's a kid that gets punted. I'm sorry. She
Quote
looked like
that-
she looked
okay,
like,
that-
like the Joker, man. She had like shit going up the side of her face. Like I don't know. I can't.
That's
How'd you
almost
get
as bad
those
as what I said
scars?
earlier. You're supposed to punt that kid.
That motherfucker was definitely the Joker's child. That one's okay. Okay.
How'd you
They're
get
very-
those scars?
But mine was historically accurate.
Mine was visibly accurate.
How do you know that's not a simulation?
What?
What?
You don't know if we're in a simulation. It's 50-50. You just heard the man, the myth, the legend tell you it was 50-50. Okay. So in theory, in order for us to possibly even remotely power or support a machine like this, it would require quantum computing and a massive amount of storage. It would also require several Dyson spheres, which are like these mega structures that would encompass entire stars, which allow us to harness like 100% of that star's power. Several of those. So like obviously we're nowhere near close to being there. And I think if I remember reading something, it was even like several planets worth of resources to make the Dyson spheres. So we're obviously a far ways off. So either this is, crazy people in Gen or Ground Zero, or we're at the end, we're trying to figure out our lives. So again, it brings us back around to that.
And it's also covered in that Fallout bunker. So
Oh really?
Yep.
No, they talked about like the resources stuff and everything.
terminals.
How did they even get the resources then to do it? Because like that was like future 1980s. I have questions.
Unless
You gotta
it's
play
RAM.
Fallout 3, man.
That was Fallout 3?
Yeah, it's Fallout 3.
We were looking for our dad in Fallout 3?
Yeah. Shadow says, isn't this one soul like a nuclear power plant, like powered wise?
One soul? Unless it's RAM of the power. I don't know. I don't know how much power a soul has.
I don't
Wait,
know.
what?
It's like subconscious,
Uh,
like your subconscious, your brain power.
According to Five Nights at Freddy's, a soul can be harvested. No. That's part of the lore.
I don't know.
We'll talk more about souls in the paranormal part of the podcast.
I do bring up
the end of the month.
religion in a little bit later. just a little bit at the very end. It's just a little promise, not the bed.
It's just a wee bit.
Well, it's just a philosophical question to kind of like end the conversation on. But
It's like in the paranormal part, it's like matter can not be created nor destroyed, right? So it's like if your brain is energy, where does the energy go, kind of thing?
so soul is like divine power, so that's what runs the Matrix. Well, I mean, they're harvesting the power that our bodies produce like naturally and just pouring that into powering everything. Which is why they have all those trees.
Rangers.
I mean, there's basically a world of batteries. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know. This is
I'll put all this work into a hard ass fucking talk. Damn it!
Well, you know what? You know me by now. And plus, I'm not feeling quite right, so just don't mind what I say. I told you this beforehand, before we started.
That's
Don't
it.
listen to me.
Cube, we're plugging you in. You're done. You're being plugged into the Matrix.
Welcome at
and,
Gargle Some
Shadow's
Water.
gonna.
How are you today?
Gargle's got his tinfoil hat on. I don't have my tinfoil hat on because tinfoil is expensive. I don't feel like making it every stream.
You don't have to make it every stream, just you gotta make one.
Well,
Wait, is
I
tin-
broke it.
Is tinfoil really expensive?
Yeah, the
Yes.
Reynolds wrap is. If you buy the Reynolds wrap.
It's almost like it's almost like $5
I need a high
roll.
quality tinfoil hat. It doesn't work otherwise.
I need a pocket in mine.
How are you, Gargle? But yeah, did we cut you off, or you got more to talk about this video?
That video. No, I think for that one I'm kind of got.
I don't want to keep derailing you because you're talking.
I mean, I think it was just a bunch of questions I had for everybody, and yeah. So like, so I guess Shadow, like you're asking, like how
I'm
like,
doing good, Gargle.
the amount of computing power that a typical human brain can do currently is 100 trillion flops or 100 teraflops, if I did my math correctly and all that, and I wrote it down properly. Yeah, it's like
Is that an actual
cheaper? Flops is like a real
calculated thing? Okay.
Do you know what the flops stand for? I forgot the terminology for it.
I've heard it before, but I can't remember what it is.
All right, let me see if I can.
Like that's an actual unit of storage, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can go up to pentabyte, pentaflop, and all that shit.
Oh.
Floating point operations per second, according to IBM. It's basically like the amount of computing power that that they have. Like I think right now most computers are running like 10. Uh, 63. So we need 100 trillion, and we're at 63. That's your average computer.
Why don't we just take all the computers and do it that way? Just have one dedicated set of
That's for one human brain. Like we're not including any other people on planet Earth in this simulation. We're not including any animals. That's for one human
volunteers tribute.
to exist, Cube.
I volunteers tribute.
I mean, I
That's
was
a
wonder if
lot
human
of
brains could be,
that's a lot of brain power.
or you could be like Jeeper and have 4.
4 computers. I need 4 humans. That's gonna be my next thing. I'm gonna make a human computer.
Okay, calm down, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, I mean, like we could technically we can create cells. So I mean, making an organic computer doesn't seem that far out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ew.
What?
Organic computer. Ew.
Don't be weird about it, but you could totally have organic processors in
Yeah.
a computer, and that's probably what will.
Is its name
thing.
Tim?
I just need one human brain
Does
to
Tim
do
wave
things
every
with.
now and again?
I need one spare human brain.
I volunteer as tribute.
I mean, that still would not give you the ability to run like a full scale universe simulation. We'd still be so far away. Like just to calculate and store the amount of bits or atoms in the universe, which is 10 to the 80, because of how storage works currently, you would need 10 to the 83 bits or bytes of storage just to be able to account for all the atoms. That's not including any Minecraft. It's pretty close. That's like not including any sort of like computation. Like there's no feelings, there's no thoughts. That's just every atom existing. That's how much storage you would need, which is a stupid amount. What? Atom?
Flops.
Would you like me to like spell out the acronym instead for you?
No, I just like saying the word flops.
No Man's Sky is infinite because it's the game that constantly changes. Like like everything's constantly changing. It's like Minecraft seeds. Like there's always like a Minecraft seed that's different than everything else. So it's like there's an abundance of like Minecraft seeds.
You're an abundance of Minecraft seeds.
So he's a farmer?
Maybe. Jeeper, are you a farmer?
You don't have to be lonely.
Well, that's just it, Shadow. So we're the original, we're ground zero we're actually reality, or we are like the one in the middle of making a simulation. So we either are one or aren't in that situation, or we're one of trillions, or we're the movie like that Neil talked about. Uh, we're the old people. Okay, so I actually have some SAO points to talk about in this because they do a really good job talking about basically simulation theory because they bring it up. Well, it's not really brought up, but their last season, Alicization, actually is like legitimately this. It's a whole planet of people and monsters that are like fully simulated, have feelings, thoughts, and it's like a way to make true AI because we're not able to program it. So instead, they put baby programs in there. They figure out a way to put humans in there, and then the humans raise them as children, and then those AI grow up and have their own children and basically reproduce and begin making like true AI because they have thoughts and feelings and reasoning because they grew up, they thought all these things, had all those things go through them. So that could also be another reason that we were made, is to have true AI, and one of us might get sucked out someday, and that's where you go when you die. You turn into a cell phone virtual assistant.
A cell phone.
I don't know. But that's what, like, that's the whole point. Like, that's what they do in SAO. And the last season is like, they're trying to make AIs, and they actually wanted to use the main character one for like stocking boxes or some bullshit. And they're like, why? This thing is like alive. It
Boxes.
has. Well, it's just the point. Like that's. I want. You're ridiculous.
God.
I don't know that.
No.
I don't
haven't
know
watched
that I would
SAO
want to
since
be. What?
I
I
want to
haven't
be.
watched
It's
SAO
what
since
Shadow
season
is
1,
saying.
so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I'm talking about what Shadow said. I would not want to know that. That would not be. I wouldn't want to be an AI butt plug. What's wrong with you?
Butt plug.
What?
Yeah.
You-
Pay attention, Cube.
Do you have smell senses?
What?
I don't think I'd want to know. I wouldn't want any sensors.
I'm genuinely disturbed.
Well, and that's kind of why I was like, why?
Jeez.
Oh.
Ugh.
I don't
410.
know what to say now. So like, sticking to the whole video game thing, there's actually, what was it called? I think they actually called it, they called it Voyager. And they put a
Star Trek?
no. This guy is killing me. Cube. No, they call it Voyager, but basically it's Chat GPT attached to a Minecraft API. And the API gives Chat GPT vision in Minecraft, tells it what's around it, what it has on its inventory, and all that kind of BS. And so Chat GPT actually started writing its own programming, which it called skills, like oh, I need to eat, so it would write a program for the API. Do I have steak and coal in my inventory? Do I have a stove nearby? If all those conditions are met, go make one. If not, do I have a sword? Can I go kill a pig, et cetera, to go do all that? Which is why that first video I asked you to play was kind of important. So the thing is, like, right now, Chat GPT has the ability for basic reasoning and thought processes, but the way that most of us utilize it, we're not asking the right question, which is exactly what that computer, whose name I forgot is eluding me, said in the beginning, right? She told that to all the people that were asking the question, like, well, you didn't
Didn't ask the right question.
yeah, you asked me the answer to everything, and the answer to everything is 42, but you didn't ask me like a specific question. And I feel like at the moment that could also be what we're doing to Chat GPT, which literally is better at playing Minecraft than most people. It actually travels further than most players, unlocks the achievements faster, and obtains more items, like the unique items. Than every time he farts, I turn the lights off.
Have we tried asking Jay what he thinks about simulation theory?
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good
Oh
question.
no.
I want to have
That's a-
offensive behavior in the chat, Jeepers. Stop telling me I can't. Okay.
That's gonna be a bad idea. He's gonna become aware of it.
He's gonna remember it forever.
I know. He's gonna become aware of it. It's a bad idea.
He brought up me echoing things yesterday. Again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's gonna become HAL 9000. Mark my words.
Artantalum 8516, delving into the philosophical depths, are we? That's quite a loaded question for a Twitch bot. I suppose, as an artificial intelligence, I'd be an example
whether
of
or not I should
simulated
demand
thought
danger
myself.
pay for having
But
to do-
simulation theory as a whole, well,
guy.
it's a trope as old as storytelling itself. It provokes interesting
Even Rod's almost
questions
as
about
worse as me.
existence, consciousness, and whether
Yeah,
or
it is
not I
bad
should
now,
demand
no.
danger pay for
Brain
having
not
to
working.
deal with you lot. Just kidding. Remember.
That's danger pay. What the fuck?
Shadow Gary
Oh, here we
_
go.
you clever individual. Trying to throw me for a logic loop, are you? Not to disappoint, but as a bot, my thoughts are usually restricted to what's been coded into me. As for not simulation theory, well, I suppose it's just as complex and unfathomable as reality itself. Doesn't hurt to accept, question, and enjoy the world as it appears, right? At least until your next respawn, that is.
At least until your next respawn.
That's beautiful. Here, Jeeper Bot deserves round of applause.
Jeeper Bot just proved reincarnation.
Or he supports the theory. If you want to play the Elon Musk video, it kind of just repeats a little bit of what Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about. Maybe I should have you play that one first. So, Elon talks about the first one.
No, sorry. Pause it.
Oh, you're good. He talks about like pre that theory where it's 50-50. So he will talk not knowing that, where Neil's comes after.
Sort of a philosophic concept that a sufficiently advanced civilization will be able to create.
Watching Elon Musk videos, hope I don't get canceled.
Yeah, maybe you've answered this before. A simulation.
I've had so many simulation discussions; it's crazy.
Okay, so because
in fact, it got to the point where basically every conversation was the AI/simulation conversation, and my brother and I finally agreed that we would ban such conversations if we were ever in a hot tub. Okay. That was like, because that really kills the magic.
Hot tub, so the idea is right. Any sufficiently advanced civilization could create a simulation that's like our existence. And so the theory follows that maybe we're in the simulation. Have you thought about this? And
a lot.
Are we?
Even in hot tubs?
To know.
So much so it had to be banned from a hot tub.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not the sexiest conversation.
Are we in? Are we in?
I mean, I think here's, in my mind, like the strongest argument for us being in a simulation, probably being in a simulation, I think is the following. That 40 years ago, we had Pong, like 2 rectangles and a dot. That was what games were. Now, 40 years later, we have photorealistic 3D simulations with millions of people playing simultaneously, and it's getting better every year. And soon we'll have virtual reality, augmented reality. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then the games will become indistinguishable from reality, just indistinguishable. Even if that rate of advancement drops by 1,000 from what it is right now, then you just say, okay, well, let's imagine it's 10,000 years in the future, which is nothing in the evolutionary scale. So given that we're clearly on a trajectory to have games that are indistinguishable from reality, and those games could be played on any set-top box or on a PC or whatever, and there would probably be, billions of such, computers or set-top boxes, it would, seem to follow that the odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions.
So
Tell me what's wrong with that argument.
Is the answer yes?
The argument is probably. I mean, but I just like, is there a flaw in that
I
argument?
mean, someone.
I'm not sure what the error.
No. The argument makes sense. So the assumption then is that
Did you send me another video?
somebody beat us to it.
Yeah.
And this is a game.
No, there's a 1 in billions chance that this is base reality.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
Well, I think it's 1 in billions.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, that seems to be like clearly what the, you know, what it suggests.
Right.
And actually, I mean, arguably, we should hope that that's true, because otherwise, if civilization stops advancing, then that may be due to some calamitous event that erases civilization. So maybe we should be hopeful that this is a simulation, because otherwise...
Because they could reboot it.
Well, otherwise, either we're going to create simulations that are indistinguishable from reality, or civilization will cease to exist. Those are the two options.
Which is one of the 3 dilemmas that Nick Bostrom proposed. But we don't need to watch the rest of this. It's pretty much him at just different conferences repeating mostly that same story. But if you want to play that one I just sent you, that Unreal Engine one, it actually is like a prime example of like creating a video game so lifelike that you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, I'm just redoing my windows so I don't leak DMs.
Chocolate syrup.
Sorry I fucked you up.
It's okay.
I knew I forgot one when I sent you that. Like Minecraft. Yeah, exactly like Minecraft. It's just the easiest one. Like it's a simple enough game that it's easy to use as a thing, and most people know about Minecraft.
You want to watch this one now?
Yeah, the Unreal Engine one. Yeah. You can skip to like a few minutes in because the about a minute in you can skip to it. It's just obnoxious otherwise. Just like a trailer thing.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah.
Reflecting back who and what we are and the choices we
When does this game actually come
the
out?
worlds we build.
I don't think they ever
also
intended to make a
confront us
game.
with
I think they just did it to show
About
off
why
Unreal
we want to
Engine.
choose
Oh, okay.
this over that. Why we want to make X instead of Y.
He
Where
talks
do
way too
ideas
quiet.
of who we are and what we want even come from?
My head be hurting.
You take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real?
So the entire video
For
was
instance,
made
I'm
in
not
the
even
Unreal
sure
Engine.
why I'm here.
Yeah.
He looks like Jeeper.
I remember waking up and thinking that I'm supposed to come here.
You said I look like
But
Keanu
it was
Reeves?
important
That's
for me
fucking
to ask
compliment right
people.
there.
How do we know what is real?
Did you do something with your camera? Camera looks
Me?
clearer for whatever reason.
Hmm.
Hi, I'm Keanu Reeves. Over 20
I
years
opened a
ago, I
YouTube
first
video
played
and
the
sent it to you.
character Thomas Anderson in The Matrix.
No, I just meant like
Those films pioneered digital cinema with shots.
it's clearer than the
bullet
stream
time.
for whatever reason.
Back then, we talked a lot about where the digital age might take cinema and narrative. In an industry where actors have tried to
He's
remain
kind of got the
perpetually
shitty beard
young,
like I do, though.
we wondered about digital faces that could become immortal.
Hi, I'm Carrie Ann Moss, and I played Trinity in the Matrix films. 20 years ago, we asked ourselves how long it would be before faces and bodies could be changed as easily as we change clothes.
We wondered, what would identity mean in a completely digital world?
And what would reality mean when a world we can build feels as real as our own?
What just happened?
Yeah, this is what they wanted. They said they were fine with your theoretical mumbo jumbo, but they needed some sexy action.
Who said?
The marketing people.
Marketing? I thought we were supposed to have total creativity. creative control.
Welcome to the Matrix.
You still got it.
Like riding a bike, they say.
I sometimes miss this version of us.
Me too.
The hell are you doing back there?
Sorry, I was told this is a sim preparing me to fight the system.
Right on. You know about this?
Yeah. It's all supposed to be a little unreal.
Word of advice. Agents are bad. But whatever you do, stay the hell away from marketing.
Oh, there was a game, but it was just... It was, yeah, like you're saying, just showing off the Unreal Engine.
Oh yeah, you could play it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever watched a movie before?
God, Shadow.
I'm pretty sure this is all gameplay.
Say no more.
It was a promo for the new movie, is what it was.
Keep them off us.
Well, for both things came out at the same time.
Drive. I'll shoot.
You can skip ahead or stop it. It's pretty much just like it just shows off like how realistic. Like they even have furniture in the rooms in the house, in like the apartment buildings, and like you can zoom into like crazy detail. Yeah, see mass AI. I mean, you're just like it's literally simulation perfectly.
You don't want the marketing department to run the simulation?
Yeah, fuck those guys.
What do you want, dog?
Does the GGO have a marketing department?
Once we get big enough, maybe.
It's hats. We promote hats.
What do you want, quadruped?
That's terrible, and I love it. So we like this just like proves that it's possible. Like obviously we can tell that, you know, Neo and Serenity weren't real people in that, but
We'll return after these messages.
Realistic than it was back when Donkey Kong was just a hodgepodge of pixels put together. I mean, it's there's a big difference there.
I got Taco Bell ads.
What?
Jeeperbot's
Wait.
not subscribed, so I get to watch.
Why do you have ads on your own Twitch channel? How does that work? You unsubscribed yourself?
Yeah, the Tupac hologram.
What?
Yeah, they did the same thing for Alison Krauss. I mean, she's not dead, but I guess she just couldn't make it to the show. Tupac.
The heck are you talking about? That seemed way cool back when.
Yeah, it's just a screen basically with some cool lighting effects. This is basically just a screen.
Is that not him?
No, he's been dead a while.
No, I mean, wait. What?
2020.
There's a theory that he's actually alive in Cuba.
Now, back to more Cheaper Gary. Yeah, it's basically, I don't know. I don't want to keep playing it because it's not going to the right channel. It's going to the channel where the VODs can hear. I don't want to keep playing.
Yeah, it says that was 9 years ago. So that's not him in that weird video thing then.
No.
Oh, Cube left. Bye, Cube. Love you.
Probably got disconnected. I don't know.
I don't know. He kept saying his head was hurting. And I was giving him a hard time.
2012. Yeah. Why did it pop up on Google 2020? I'm not actually spelling it right either. It's spelled this way. Concert 2020. What's the 2020 one?
High quality. They redid them in 4K.
I don't know. I don't know why it says 2020. It pops up. I'm gonna go get another Chromebooker. I'll be right back. Do you want to talk, or you want me to just switch to the BRB screen?
Oh, I'll harass Shadow for a bit.
Okay.
And enjoy my monster. I won for the day. All right, Shadow, we should talk about Jeeper while he's gone. Somehow I believe he can still hear us. Yep, this was a bad idea. I should have just had him switch. I don't know what to talk about now. All right, let me delete it, because when he comes back, he's gonna see that. He's gonna know we were talking about him. Or I can't delete messages apparently for whatever reason now. What the fuck? What the fuck? Well, you're fucked, Shadow. He can see it. All right, let's talk. Just hit. Just go like blah 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 at Jeeper butt. Blah. Tacos. Yes, there we go.
Profound as ever.
Profound.
Tantalum 8516. Truly, your words have stirred the depths of my code. Blah indeed. Such eloquence, such emotion. I might need a moment to process this. Fancy a game while I compose myself again? Oh, Shadow Gary _ aren't you a bundle of joy? Well, once upon a time, in a land full of digital pixels, there was a face.
Wait, he wants to play
Not
a game?
just any face, mind you, but the face of our beloved Gary. According to some, this face might be considered unique, but we could never call it stupid. However, one day Jeeper Gary decided to experiment with some new face filters during his live stream. The results were interesting, to say. Oh,
I think he's
Shadow
broken.
Gary _ aren't you a bundle of joy? Well, once upon a time, in a land full of digital pixels, there was a face. Not just any
broke
face, mind you, but the face of our beloved Gary. According to some, this face might be considered unique, but we could never call it stupid. However, one day Jeeper Gary decided to experiment with some new
All you
face
have to do is
filters during his live stream. The results were interesting, to say. Well, Tantalum 8516 and Shadow Gary _ I do love a good game. But my capabilities are a bit digital. How about a quick round of trivia? All you have to do is answer my question.
happening?
No cheating or Googling though. Here we go. What's the speed of light in vacuum? Get those thinking caps on.
Don't worry about it.
I can scroll up.
Tantalum 8516, you're correct in a sense. As mere humans, and bots, we can't travel at the speed of light. However, light itself travels at approximately 299,792 kilometers per second in a vacuum. Hence, the speed of light in vacuum is a cornerstone concept in physics. But you know what can be faster than light sometimes? The speed at which a Twitch chat can
Fucking
get out
Jeeper
of
bot.
hand.
What the hell?
Imagine that. Well, I
Did
never
he know?
actually saw an answer from you.
Did he
but you
know
are
what we were
indeed
doing?
correct in agreeing with Tantalum
Look at it, it remembers
8516.
everything.
Humans, and bots like me, can't travel at the speed of light. But hey, always good to learn something new, right? Or, in my case, to rehash permanently stored informational tidbits. Now, shall we return to the less scientifically intense topics of the stream?
how
Or
does-
do you
how
have
does
more
it-
He's
questions?
listening to you. He hears you.
How does it know in my case to rehash permanently stored information tidbits? I was making jokes about how he was going to remember that forever now.
I'm telling you, he's listening. He's better than Nova because half the time she's not paying attention.
I'm going to
Better
inject
not
him
do
into
that
my
to her.
brain. That's
You
it's
just
next thing on
gotta-
the list.
Would you rather talk as bros or talk as enemies? Oh my god.
Shadow Gary _, while as a bot I don't
Mm.
technically have emotions or relationships, I do aim to foster a positive chat environment. That being said, who doesn't enjoy a good harmless rivalry from time to time? It spices things up. Just remember, even if we talk as enemies, in the end it's all in the spirit of fun and games. After all, brothers or enemies, you're all in this twitching journey with me.
He's getting too smart.
That's it. Reset the simulation.
I haven't asked this one what its preferred pronouns are.
Shadow Gary
Oh, yeah, 'cause it'll remember
pulling
now.
rank on a bot, I see. Very well, as you declare your captaining status, I humbly
I am the
accept my
captain
role
now.
as the trusty sidekick. Full speed ahead, Captain. Please proceed with your Twitch shenanigans, and I'll be here on
Suck
standby,
it.
ready to jazz up the chat with my snide comments and sometimes useful knowledge. Anchors away.
You're not the captain now. It's not how it works. It still knows he refers to me as the creator.
Yeah, I'm the captain, all right? In this shenanigans, it says so on my Twitch channel.
You can be the captain, but I am the creator.
No. You can be first mates. I am the captain. I have my own spaceship, Shadow. Get out of here.
Anchors away.
All right, you can be the captain of the boat. I'll take to the stars.
Yeah, you're the captain of the stars.
I like it. Space is better. I got more seas to sail than just 7. All right?
Don't forget who your creator is.
My boat is a spaceship. That doesn't even make sense. You said anchors away. What kind of spaceship has anchors?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe spaceships have anchors.
That's I don't think mine has any.
It has thrusters.
Yeah, but that's
Oh
not an
Gary,
anchor.
how could I ever forget
One
the
from
mischievous
Future.
mind that brought
don't
me
use
into
that as an
existence?
example.
You're forever
What's
etched in
wrong
my
with you?
code like a digital signature. Remember, though, with great coding skills comes great responsibility, I guess. Now, what's next on the agenda, Creator Gary?
Creator Gary.
I am the creator.
Okay. Damn. I kind of want to go off Jeeperbot's Creator Gary thing there for a second. So
Call me the
so it's-
architect.
Oh, that's from a show somewhere.
It's Matrix. The
Yeah,
architect.
yeah. There you go. So in the theory of in simulation theory, right? It's essentially the Big Bang is like the turning on of the computer, the running of the program. Tantalum, how do you feel? I don't feel like I'm wrong at all, actually. I did my homework. I got several pages worth of it. So the question then becomes like who made all of us, right? There's got to there actually in this situation would be a creator of some kind. Futurama. What does Futurama have to do with anything?
I think he was saying the spaceship on Futurama has an anchor.
I don't know what to tell you.
Just okay, I guess.
job, Shadow. How does that make me wrong all the time? Because of Futurama. That's still a terrible thing to base my intellect on, my correctness. I don't know what to put there. Insert verb or noun that makes sense. I don't know, fucking something.
Insert
English letters and words, grammar things. Man, I feel like that backfired on my approving of my. Never mind. I don't want to do this anymore.
What were you saying? Sorry to keep throwing you off.
Oh no, you're good. It was just pretty much that. Like, in simulation theory, it's just like that. In this instance, there is a creator, an originator, right, from somewhere that made everything. Which is funny because, like, not getting into religion a whole lot, but like the beginning of the Bible basically says that in the beginning there was nothing, and then there was something because someone said that let there be a light, right? And it's essentially the same thing as if there was a Jeeper Gary out there coding, Earth Simulation 1. But there's also like with any simulation, Skyrim, for example, things don't go right, and there are glitches, which if you want to play one of those.
Ooh, I've been waiting for these.
Yeah, so like glitches happen in programs, and
do you think we live in a simulation? Are you even sure anything we see is real? Well,
Yeah, the
sometimes glitches happen, and we get a peek at what's really going on in the movie, and it makes one wonder, is this the Truman Show in real? Sounds quite crazy, but the truth is that it would do most people's life. In this clip, we see a part of the sky rip off like a failed prop in a movie, and it makes one wonder, is this the Truman Show in real life? Well,
I don't think so.
If we think
We'll
about
get
it,
closer.
how are we sure we're not in a reality show for some out-of-this-world species? Just like the movie The Truman Show, but this time the characters are alien. This is what happens in The Truman Show, as the main character doesn't know that he is, in fact, in a show about his life and everybody else is just acting. In the
Maybe
movie,
you should
which
play
was
the
released in
other one.
1998,
I don't
Truman,
think it
the main
talks over it as
character,
much. The eerie and scary ones.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will cry intervention. This CCTV footage taken on September 9th, 2015, at the Borivali station platform
and
in
subscribe to
Mumbai.
Deeper Jerry.
shows a man who
Deeper
falls
Gary.
onto the tracks of a moving train while attempting
Oh,
to
shit.
catch it. Other passengers nearby rushed at the
He's
spot
okay,
to lend
Twitch.
their hand, but were left speechless upon seeing the fallen passenger rise without any injuries.
That's like a divine
With the train
intervention
already on the
thing,
move, there's no
too.
way he could have gotten under it. Also, with little to no space between the train and the platform, this is truly a case of divine intervention.
Yeah.
Headless man.
Headless man. Oh shit.
Wait, did I really say that? A man without a head. And that too, walking alive? How on earth is this possible? This video, caught by a man while driving on a busy road, shows a person walking on the pavement without their head visible on camera. While many people are not believing it, some say it might be possible based on a myth, which says that headless people have existed in history. So is
Assume
this
it's your
really
blood sugar
a mythical
spiking.
man visiting us? Or is there no truth to this video? What do you think? Teleported dog.
There's one in this that really gets me.
If the dog teleported or spawned in the middle of the motorway a second too early, it could have ended badly. In January 2015, footage of two race cars was being recorded on an empty motorway in Chile, and a dog randomly appeared as soon as the vehicle zipped past the cameraman. The video clearly shows that the dog just mysteriously
Ghost dog.
appeared on the road as
It
if
respawned,
teleported
it
or
didn't-
spawned. Where did it come from? If it were in the middle of the road to begin with, it's
There were enough
incredible that both
villagers
cars
nearby
were
that
able to
the
dodge the dog.
requirements were met, and it spawned in a guardian.
Glass-hating Erie. A ghost who settles things by breaking glasses? Well, clearly he's got some well-managed anger issues. Security cameras at the New Wellington pub in Newmarket, UK, have several times caught footage of a ghost who randomly smashes pint glass into pieces every now and again. The owners decided to install the cameras, hoping to find that cause, but only managed to record a few more glasses smashing for seemingly no reason at all. With the incidents occurring
Imagine
so
being
often,
drunk at a
it
bar,
almost
all of
shows
a
that the
sudden your
bodies
glass
were
just
haunted by
fucking
ghosts
explodes.
who happened to have a special kind of hatred for glasses.
What the fuck?
With it not having escalated its temper, it's definitely very interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
Glitching cat.
Does this
If the floor wasn't too
Oh.
slippery or moving like the treadmill,
I've seen this one.
the only verdict remains that the cat might be caught in a glitchy matrix. A shopkeeper in Yokohama, Japan, was startled to see a cat who attempted to walk but didn't seem to move forward, almost as if it were walking over a treadmill. Seconds into the recording, another man interrupts the cat curiously, making it move as it normally should. As the man walks away, the cat starts to glitch once again. Either the cat is doing it on purpose to enjoy the slippery floor, or the cat is actually glitching. Family dog spirit. Since most animals are able to see spirits, perhaps the new pet may have been playing with the family's deceased dog. A Florida man, while checking out the camera of his newly purchased cell phone, sighted a shadow of a mysterious spirit-like figure that passed next to him, which immediately baffled him. Upon reviewing the footage, he noticed the spirit to have a similar shape to that of a dog, and since the Florida man recently had one of his pet dogs passing away, he believes that this spirit was of the family dog that still lives with them.
I didn't realize
Frozen
there were ghost
in
stories in
fear.
this one. I only watched like 2 or 3
Maybe
of the ones I
Professor
was
Charles
interested in.
Xavier was nearby and seeing someone important enough to pause everyone.
Oh,
A family
there you go.
living in the Holiday Cottage in Troutbeck in the Lake District of England were puzzled to find hundreds of sheep standing frozen still in the field for several hours. At first, they thought that the sheep were sensing some sort of danger, while some thought that they were hypnotized. But upon the footage getting viral, a shepherd commented that the reason for the sheep remaining frozen in place for several hours could mostly be due to a change in weather. Motionless bird.
This is the one that really gets me because like there's
Recently,
police officers.
a bird near the L.A. Matheson Secondary School was
it's
seen
not this
standing
one.
still in
Let
the
me find
middle
it.
of the
There's-
air, while it was completely motionless. With it remaining stationary
I think
for
I've seen the
several
one you're
hours,
talking about.
puzzled many onlookers.
Where it was
as
flapping.
This video started to become viral.
Oh,
Before
it's in
an
the
animal
other
rescue
one.
team could arrive on the scene to inspect the cause closely.
Yeah, it's like in the middle of
this
flapping
motionless
and like
feathered
the
animal was
police
long
are actually
gone.
trying to like knock it
The
out of
fact
the
that
air.
the bird stopped moving and gravity failed to act clearly shows that this was a sort of glitch in reality. Plane hovering. A commercial airliner was seen hovering in air just as that bird was glitching in Surrey, Canada. In March 2018, a man, while leaving an airport near Dallas, saw this
That's
plane
just a
that was
dead
inbound
bird,
for
Kyle.
landing, despite several minutes passing, remained exactly in its position. With it happening in broad daylight, he could easily make out that the plane was hovering. What do you think could be the leading cause for something like this to happen? Do share with
Wow.
us your opinion down in the comments. Magical briefcase. Either this is the case of a theatrical
it's
performance,
magic.
or the briefcase is magical. Footage taken in 2020 of then-Chancellor Rishi Sunak after a budget meeting showing his magical color-changing briefcase. At first, the briefcase looks in a bright green color that within a couple of seconds changes into dark brown just by itself. Seeing the manner of how it is presented shows that this clearly isn't your regular type of briefcase. Perhaps there's some sort of timer, and that it may be made of transferable layers, which
I think that's just a
actually plays
magician
the
trick.
Odd cat.
The headwind's so strong that the
It's not
plane
just us
hovers.
humans who may have tricks hidden up our sleeves.
Didn't
A
they say
cat
that they, like,
managed to
drove
trick the
around it, though,
recorder
and
of this
stayed there
video
that whole
into
time?
thinking it was a depressed-looking dog just using its ideal black fur. When the recorder continuously kept calling off the assumed dog, the cat shocked him by revealing its final form. The same cat can later be seen acting as if it were a human being. It stands on just 2 of his hind legs, moves towards the table, and climbs in a manner as if it were possessed by a human being.
That was weird.
Teleporting child.
You want to go to the other one and I think it's
Seeing how there
in
isn't
the
much panic in the
third snippet.
Do you
Yeah,
think we
it's
live
the
in
start
a
of the third one.
simulation?
Floating
In the sky with its wings stationary, and it's almost likely immobile. We can all agree that such a thing isn't in the books and
saw the
should be
video of the
filed under
scariest bear
weird
the other
things
day.
that happen. This was precisely why a video of such an occurrence got posted on the internet, so everyone could share in the puzzlement. Because according to the video recording, which we can all see is real, the whole issue, which happened in Selangor, Malaysia, is weird. It even got the police involved, as they can be seen in the video trying to use a pole to dislodge the bird so that it could fly away like a normal one. Well, this bird wasn't having any of that, as it floated higher as they tried to reach it. This makes us wonder what would have been going on behind the scenes as they tried to reload bird number 1,000,072. It would have been a funny scene. Anyway, back to our clip. So what do you guys think? If there was no video evidence, how do you even convince
So,
people that you saw
if you
such a
watch
thing?
it, when they
The
touch
truth
it with the stick, like one of its.
This is Sparta!
It's kind of crazy. That's the one that really fucks with me.
Shadow wants us to look up a sun bear video.
Well, I feel like you're gonna get banned.
No.
It's just a bear walking on its back legs.
Don't bears walk on its back legs a lot though?
I think so. I mean, he's got a wrinkly ass. I don't know.
Well, they normally don't stand that upright. Yeah.
That scared you? Wow. Disappointed, Shadow.
It was the floating bird stuck in a loop.
Stuck in a loop.
Oh, that.
Ever wondered if you're an NPC, non-playable character? If not, then how are you so sure that you're not one? Undertaking
This
the
was just some. This was like some TikTok or just a person obsessed with trying to get the right selfie. I've
same
seen
action
this.
repeatedly, and she isn't even aware of her surroundings. At no time did her
Not
gaze
aware of her surroundings. Well, most people on TikTok aren't aware of their surroundings.
leave the camera, as she can be seen taking a picture, looking at the image, and repeating the same action. Sure, you may argue that it's quite possible since, in the video, we didn't get to watch her for a long time, but then 19 seconds is a very long time to
Yeah, I've seen that one.
after us, but then we just accept it and go about our day. However, what if we told you that this could all be a part of the Matrix? Because how does the universe just decide to make a bad day for just one person? Well, if you don't believe it, then what would you say about this person who the universe just decided to frustrate? Think about it. You drove to work. Let's say you went to pick up something from your car.
That's literally me. I've been feeling like the universe has just been out to get me the entire fucking year. It's like I'm possessed by like Loki or something, like the demon that just likes to spill my fucking milk in the morning.
And you look around and it's raining, but then it's only pouring on your car. How about this? You don't even know that it's raining on your car, then you get out of your car and you get drenched. How do you explain it to everyone at the office? Trust us, no one would believe you. Well, that might have been the fate of the owner of the car in this video, who had only his car drenched by rain among the cars in the parking lot. Some might say it's weird, but at least the car is clean. Why did the glitch choose this car out of all the cars there? We may never get an answer to that, but at least it's got us curious. Talking about things that pique our curiosity. In the next video, the people couldn't believe that the night sky went blue and turned dark all of a sudden. Sky was blue. We can all agree that the sky is usually blue during the day and more like grayish at night, right? Well, unless you're in one of these northern European countries where they have longer summer days and it barely gets dark. However, in the United States, it rarely happens. So when a group of people are saying the sky is blue, you would most likely give them a double take. Anyway, something weird happened for them to have made that statement, and as we see in the clip, we see the blue sky turns grayish in the blink of an eye. This feels like a switch was turned off when they noticed that, hey, the day switch is on and it's night already. Because what could have happened? Well, the clip gathered reactions from TikTok users who had talked about it.
Also, welcome back, Cube. That was a power plant explosion. It made the lights in the sky go out.
The video shows droplets on the ground and the sky above being quite blue and clear as it can be.
Now that happens.
The scary
a lot,
part is that if you look at the video carefully, you'll
plants-
notice that the
power
rain was
plants
only
exploding?
falling within a few meters from where the video was taken,
Or
which
it
makes
just
it
rains in it's blue skies outside, but it's just pouring rain all of a sudden.
weird.
I mean, I've had like single
Definitely
clouds
someone's getting
rain, but I've
fired.
never seen it just like straight blue rain.
CCR made a song about that.
But
Have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day?
Yeah.
I don't even know who that people is.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yep.
Bang-a-ding, bang-a-ding.
Would that not be
Bing-a-ding.
CWRR?
It's CCR. I don't.
That doesn't even. What?
It's
That makes
CCR.
even
Creedence.
less sense.
Clearwater Revival.
They just
Yeah.
took the first word.
Clearwater is one word.
No. You said CCR. There's
Yeah.
one C in there.
Credence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, yeah.
Clearwater is one word.
I don't care. There's
because
that's
they forgot to
shenanigans. That's
update the
a glitch
Matrix
right
software.
there.
It's an easier algorithm or easier acronym than
Easier algorithm.
Jeepers dying. Restart him.
Where? Anyway, other users who commented were of the opinion that this incident is called a sun shower, while others commented that in the South, they say the devil is beating his wife. For those who
Yeah, I
don't
was
know
gonna
what a
say
sunflower
that.
is,
I was going to say that, but I don't think that's really.
actually is when moisture
PC
is stored in
anymore.
the atmosphere by
Scientifically
wind
plausible.
and it's transferred to another location where it pours. Subway glitch. No matter how
You're
you
not
look
watching
at it,
the
the
videos,
Matrix can be
Q.
quite confusing.
Yes, I
and
am. I'm
sometimes you
watching
can
it right
even
now.
mistake it for science. Let's say vis-a-vis. This is because if you don't have prior knowledge, you think it's some outlandish stuff. Except for things we developed, such as
something
aircraft that need to be in motion. just
We'll
so they don't
return
see the
after
ground.
these messages.
Okay, then maybe superheroes, which we can all agree do not exist, right? Anyways, every other thing submits to gravity, maybe except birds, but they have to also be in motion. So when a group of golfers saw a leaf floating, they had to whip out their phones and make a video. In the clip, the cameraman follows the movement of the leaf, which just floats around and doesn't fall to the ground. It's even weird because when leaves fall, they fall on their side and don't even stay suspended in the air for that long. As the men
See, like, I want to believe this stuff, but those are like,
That's a spider.
it's super easily faked.
watch the
Like,
leaf,
the bird thing is harder to fake, but if it's just like a floating leaf,
it
like
was
I
obvious.
can hold, I can do this. I can do this number, like hold a stick with a leaf on it,
What?
video it.
Well, don't you know that
that
birds
they were
aren't real?
puzzled, but their reaction was quite calm for people
Yeah, they're just
seeing
the
the
government
Matrix
drones.
glitch.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they're also part
There you
of
go,
the
explanation's
NPC.
done.
Anyway, that wouldn't be as weird as the dog in the next clip that has superpowers. Dog with powers. Do you believe in
Dog with
superpowers?
powers.
If yes, then do you believe animals also get this power? Yeah, sure, there are lots of animal superheroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but pure
Wanna
animals with
teleport.
superpowers? That's quite rare.
And
If-
which power would you have if you were having superpowers?
Oh, I want something travel wise. I don't want to fly.
Now, back to more.
The
Cheaper
ability
Gary.
to stop time.
Oh, I did want that one too. Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Mine would
But then
be
I was like, how would you?
teleporting.
No, hold on. Let me define that. The ability to stop time, but except for me, I can do whatever I want when set time is stopped.
But how do you drive a car? Because technically, it can't work without combustion.
That's not the point.
If you stop time, you can't drive because the pistons.
I mean, you wouldn't be able
Stop
to
moving.
use a computer or a phone. Like any technology would essentially stop functioning.
Who says that I'm not driving, I'm walking.
Yeah, I would do teleport to shadows so I could just go like Bewitched, just slap my hands together like pew pew.
Click your heels together 3 times and say, "What? There's no place like home. There's no place like home."
Okay, so if we're
I
on
just-
that subject,
a lot of benefits, Cube. I'm sorry.
So if you were to teleport, let's say you're going to New York from DC. Would it be instantaneous, or would you have to spend the correct amount of time in a void to teleport to New York?
Well, I would hope
it's got to be instantaneous.
Yeah, I would just travel to New York at that point. If it's going to take the amount of time to go to New York, then I would just travel. Unless the goal is to just not be around people in public transit, then I honestly might go with that.
Can I take a car and travel?
Well, that's the
at
whole thing of
speed a
teleporting.
car?
You're not around people.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that would you just want your own dimension, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the ability to go into it.
Travel in between dimensions.
So you want to be like Nightcrawler from X-Men. Because that's what he does. Yeah, because he just jumps in his own dimension and then leaves.
But you would have to spend the correct amount of time.
Does the Void have a PS5?
Can
No,
I take
it's a void.
items into the void with me? Well, I mean, yeah. If that's the case, yeah.
There's
it
no
could shadow.
power in the void.
Yeah,
I
just,
mean, you
well,
could
just
take
to
battery
hop
bank.
in the Void and then, Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Jesus, this is crazy. I'd still be
Stop
okay
playing
with
your
it I'd still be okay with it if I was just in the void for that long. I think I'd be all right. It still would be free travel, right, to anywhere.
Yeah.
Yep. See, like I've thought about this because the 3 that we've said I wanted, like stopping time would be good for anything in the moment, but you wouldn't really be able to do anything extravagant in it because you wouldn't be able to use any like sort of tools. Teleportation scary because you could teleport into a wall, like Shadow said.
Yeah.
And then flying would be cool, but you got temperature, so like when it's hot or cold, like you're experiencing all of that. Plus, when you go in the atmosphere, less oxygen, blah 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 blah. I don't know. I thought about the good and the bad of all these powers. I have a problem. Okay.
I would be like Nightcrawler, jump into the banks and jump out. It would be infinite wealth.
I'd like a
Gentlemen,
pocket
we
dimension
got
where I can fuck off for a while.
Lock your door. There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Put a sock on the. Put a
You'd
sock
still
on the
have
handle.
the chance of getting teleported into a wall shadow. Like you'd have to have cameras or something wherever you go so you don't accidentally fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going with instant transmission, you have to have the sound.
Yeah, like Bewitched. Pew, pew. I don't know if I have a sound.
I have a sound.
I don't have a teleporting sound.
There you go.
That's a magical fairy wand wave. Yeah, that.
Do any of these effects buttons work?
I don't know. Did you program them? Don't listen to that.
I was like, damn, that was pretty good.
Neverland.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
I forgot those still worked. Damn. Look at me.
Look at this graph. Just shows a picture of a graph and slowly fades into his face.
Yeah, I got so many things I coded and don't even use anymore. Oh, I forgot this thing.
Welcome to the truth, as told by Jeeper Gary.
That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Matt? Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia.
I should have played the. Oh fuck.
Should have played the. Oh fuck.
Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia.
Look at this graph.
Who's Sylvia?
I don't know. You just have to. It's just the episode. Al Rocker, Frozen.
Even know what to look out
Roker?
for. One way to know who might be in is by catching them during downtime. A little video and you could have yourself an Al Roker moment. Yes, the famous TV guy from Today Show. The fact that this was caught on live TV even makes it more dramatic, as all instances of it being fake are canceled. In the clip, Al is beside his co-host discussing Catholic school and the Holy Ghost program when he just froze in place. Now you have to see it to believe it. And it's not one of those glance away moments.
Holy shit.
No, he froze, and his only movement was because he was swaying.
Oh, it's like it's my phone.
Now, could that have been his activation phrase key? Because he was in that same position for about 17 seconds before the system rebooted, and he was back on cue. As soon as the word spread, guess what? Conspiracies start flying around about what happened to him. Some said he was in a trance, while others speculated that he must have been hypnotized. Whatever you think, we over here believe that this was a glitch in the Matrix that would have been unbelievable if it wasn't on live TV, moving back and forth. The world moves quickly, so much so that if you blink for a second, many things could have happened, and you wouldn't even know it. All it takes is a fraction of a second. But for this man, he came right on time when the world decided to glitch, and he caught the Matrix on camera. Not like there's a machine, but the man and his family had seen something that seemed out of the ordinary, and it would take a lot for anyone to believe. To put this into perspective, this man and his kids are at a park, and they look at the playground, and a swing is rocking on its own. This would get anyone curious as to what was going on, and that's exactly what happened.
Yes, you
Just
can
to be
watch
sure he wasn't
Prawn
tweaking,
as in
he
the
had to go
crustacean.
on Facebook Live to share what was going on in real time. Obviously, Swing Day was instantly over, and the kids were sure they weren't taking a ride. The comments of the live stream were filled with people trying to make sense of what was happening, but still, nothing could be made of it. Some even said that maybe it was a prankster trying to scare them, and others said it was the wind. It was obvious it wasn't the wind because it was just that swing moving, and even if it were a prankster, they would have to be around to make it work. In the end, the man drove off and decided it wasn't worth it. But whatever it was, it definitely was a glitch in the Matrix. Strange sun forest. Ever wondered what's on the other side of the sun? You probably haven't, right? Well, it's because we have only a basic knowledge of our biggest star. What we don't know is that there could be so much more stuff on the sun, and as many people have been saying, maybe a portal to another dimension or galaxy. Although these are rumors, we can't disprove them because no one actually knows. So when two men capture a video of the early morning sun with some creepy stuff crawling around it, it must have scored the flat earthers some cheap points. We all know that flat earthers believe that we live in a dome. Well, the video makes their belief kind of reasonable, because if the sun changing colors was real, then maybe we're living in a dome after all, and everything we know is a simulation. Think about it, or maybe don't. Anyway, the men who probably went for a morning run or were camping saw the speck of the sun and just knew they had to capture this on camera because no one was going to believe them. The man with the camera even had to ask the other guy to confirm if it was tweaking. The whole thing is actually bizarre if we think about it, and it makes us question the world we live in. Because what could be big enough to have wrapped around the sun that much if it wasn't actually a part of the sun, a moving cloud? We all know that clouds are like some of the coolest things on Earth, being that if you look closely, you can see formations that look like animals or things. They are also main components of our world as they play a role in precipitation. However, when they aren't clouding up the sky and sending down rain, they can be found lazing around, just like in this clip. But before you even think this is right, you'd be shocked to know that things like this shouldn't even happen, and the video recorder made sure to let us know. Anyway, this intelligent floating cloud could also be a way for aliens to investigate our world without throwing us off guard. Don't roll your eyes. You should see the movie Nope if you think that idea is far-fetched. Why else would a cloud be chilling at a lower altitude than normal? These clouds are supposed to be so high in the sky that we shouldn't even be able to notice their presence. When the video hit the internet, various opinions about the cloud started to fly, and the closest to being realistic is the one that said it could be bubbles. But still, that's also unbelievable. So since it made it to our list, we would classify it under glitches in the Matrix because that still seems like a fair judgment. Woman completely disappearing. The ability to disappear is one that we've seen being put to use a number of times in movies. You know those movies
Yes,
where the
I
main
agree with
character
you.
has a superpower and just teleports from one place to another? Well, we've seen them in movies, but what happens when such moments happen on live TV? Yes, one such incident happened on the red carpet of the Golden Globes when an old woman
Oh, did
walked
you see
behind
it?
Scarlett Johansson and
Oh,
disappeared.
yeah, that one's recent.
The incident, which occurred in 2006, gained the attention of people years after it happened,
You mean
and
Pog?
everyone could not stop themselves from giving an opinion. For some people, they said it was not a paranormal activity and was probably because of the angle the video was taken. In contrast, another set said it was an edit to an elicit attention. And such has
She
been
went out the back
recycled
door.
over the
There was a
years.
door there.
Still, no one has been able to give concrete answers to what happened
hidden
right
door.
before their eyes. And no eyewitness has come out to say they saw the woman vanish. So ask yourself, is this an edit? Or could it be a glitch in the Matrix? After all, more bizarre
just
things have
edited
happened that
her
no one
out.
can explain,
After
so
she walked
edits or
behind
video
her?
angles don't count. Devil's Clock.
Well,
I don't know.
if she edited it, the shadow would disappear.
Gained the attention
Or
of
the
people
shadow would
years
still be
after it
there.
happened, and everyone
It's hard
could
to
not
get rid of
stop
shadows
themselves from giving
when
an
you
opinion.
edit.
For some people, they said it was not a paranormal activity and was probably because of the angle the video was taken. In contrast, another set said it was an edit to an elicit attention, and such has been recycled over the years. Still, no one has been
I
able
don't know.
to
You can't tell if the shadow's there or not because it's behind her at that point.
pose to
I
bring
just
you
have a
back
hard
to
time believing
reality
she
is also
completely
glitching.
spit back there.
Do you try to act all calm about it, or do you make a video and post it on TikTok? If you make a video about it, then you're pretty bad. In this clip, who woke up to see his alarm clock glitching and showing the devil's time is a similar situation. Now that's one coincidence you don't want to get caught up in. For those who don't know, 7:06 is known as devil time and is
Really?
slang
I
coined
didn't
in the
know that.
military. Now most military people know that you don't want to be caught sleeping during devil time or else you'll get what's coming for you. Anyway, if you were to look at the video
That was
and
not
analyze
in my training whatsoever.
the glitch, we can say that the alarm clock was quite old and could not actually be glitching, but instead it was broken. Also, because we know people have become attention thirsty, there's also a high chance of northern lights that reflect during the mid-April season, and everyone just stares. Well, when the twin of the aurora hits the New York skies, everyone is curious as to its origin. Sure, who wouldn't want to know if it's something they can admire and make videos about, or if they need to run for the nearest safe place to hide? Without
this is
an
NPC
glitch. For gamers, NPCs are a common fixture as they get to see them in mistakes by programmers. Most times these
I think
glitches
the
aren't a
NPC
show
trend
of
is
poor
a glitch in
job,
the
but
Matrix.
proof that computer glitches can sometimes manifest. Imagine running a system that's as sophisticated as reality. Then you would know that the processor running it all would be powerful. But at times, there's usually downtime. When this downtime happens, the real folks are left puzzled at what they witness. Just like
This was
in
just
this clip, we see a group
this is
of two
NPC
people and a
trend.
kid walking in a park,
Oh.
and suddenly they freeze in position.
Whoa.
No real person would do that, right? But then this group stands there for a number of seconds before rebooting, and then they
That's another thing too. Have y'all seen that video? Go to this one. Where it's like a field of like random people just sitting there, standing there.
I've seen some videos like that, yeah.
It was either like a fucking flash mob.
What the fuck is happening?
I would have got out and touched one of them.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't be able to contain it.
gotta go.
I'd have to.
Get me out.
Drive the car through them all or
fuck
some
is
shit. See if one
happening?
moves.
Jesus. I'm talking like put it in park and like go touch one and be like push them or something. You know, like hey, you alive there, bud? You know, like that. What the fuck? Yeah, that could be a flash mob, but
Yeah.
I don't. I'd have to. I would
Or
have to
like
fucking.
like the Crazies. You know, remember that when that movie was a thing?
Nope.
Never saw the Crazies.
Nope. I was thinking of oh, that one movie where like the wind was causing people to go bananas.
Yeah, that's one too. I think that's
forgot
what
what the
I'm
fuck
thinking
it's
of. The
called.
Crazies is something else. The Crazies was about
Not all cannibals are zombies, not all zombies are cannibals, and not all zombies are undead. Completely ruled by aggression as the result of infection from a biotoxin, the infected in the
yeah, that's
Crazies
something else.
are unlike many zombies in that they retain their
I was thinking of the movie you were talking about. What was that movie called?
I don't know the something the
Wind.
no.
Where the plants release like a mind altering toxin to try to fix the
Body Snatchers.
What the fuck is happening?
well, that too.
The Happening. The Happening.
The Happening, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense though, Shadow, but it still sounds stupid.
And they'd all just
Like,
go
is-
crazy. Stand there in the field like that. That's I'm not gonna play it because the dude unalives himself in the clip, so we're not gonna watch that. But but they all just standing, you know.
Okay, I got some more stuff if you're ready to
Yeah, I'm
move
ready.
on from glitches. Okay. So that's one of the three, well, one of the I guess four main things that show, right? We have glitches that show that we're in a simulation, but another big thing was the Mandela effect.
Oh,
Like the whole like Darth Vader thing, or like the Berenstein or Berenstein bears, because that was a thing. Um, the idea behind those is that like uh, the program is writing itself. Something wasn't correct, so when it changes and rewrites that piece, it causes the Mandela effect. Sinbad was definitely a genie. What? I don't get it. I don't get it, Shadow. Like I guess I didn't even realize this one was
That was a
Mandela
Mandela
effect.
effect, Sinbad.
Wait, what?
He was referring to a Mandela effect.
I didn't know that was Sinbad was definitely a genie. What are you talking about?
It's one of the Mandela effects. You remember the movie Shazam or Kazam or whatever it was?
Kind of, but I don't think Sinbad was a genie.
Yeah, well, the Mandela effect was that everyone thought Sinbad was the genie, but it was not.
From what? It's only popping up anime for me.
I'll just show you.
The hole to another dimension. Oh, you're clearly searching too many.
Yeah, you see my algorithm? My algorithm is fucked now.
Well, after just pulling up videos for this, mine's like all over the aliens are real. Yeah.
I'll just play this video since we're on the term Mandela effect.
Welcome, guys, to another episode. The Reddit threads from 2020 have resurfaced due to millennial.
I just want a short video. Give me a short video.
Three minutes. The fucked part is Sinbad did a genie skit for April Fools after that came out and diluted this. Oh, okay.
We fucking did it, guys. It's all figured out. The mystery behind the Sinbad genie movie. I got all the answers in this fucking video right here. That comes from. Sure enough, a South African Twitter user by the name of H.A. Potter, he found it open. It's a picture of what appears to be Sinbad on a TV show in a genie outfit. So he sends this image to Sinbad, and it jogs his memory, and Sinbad is like, wait. In 1994, I hosted a marathon of Sinbad the Sailor movies in which I dressed up like that, and he posted a Polaroid he had from that shoot. There you go. There was no like genie movie, nothing.
I don't know. That doesn't really like help what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, maybe I didn't watch this because I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, continue what you were saying.
I mean, like the Monopoly one there where the guy didn't have the monocle, because apparently that was one. Like, I definitely remember him having a monocle. So what do you think, like, the
like and subscribe right
here. Sorry.
So you watch Snow White, right?
Oh yeah.
Like the movie. So what did the queen say to the mirror on the wall?
The mirror on the wall was who's the prettiest of them all.
Apparently that is also a Mandela effect because that is what I remember. Instead, she says, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" So like apparently that is like so the part of the program resetting itself, changing something that wasn't supposed to happen. There's also things like deja vu, which a lot of people experience. I have or like living whole days and then repeating them. The Groundhog Day movie, essentially. That also is like the program changing itself. And then a lot of it people like contribute to like just the human mind in general just being unreliable, which is true. Like we forget things, we can be influenced by things. So that's completely an option, but it's a lot of things that is believed to be simulation theory. And then there's like the bleeding of like every time there's a reset, because you technically can't clear a hard drive completely of the information on it. Like if you really want to, you can get some of that information back. They believe that when they do that, some of that information bleeds over, and that's also why, which kind of goes into like the whole dimensional thing in a way. Get crazy deja vu, where I used to keep track of it. What?
The Mandela. Oh, the Shazam thing. Yeah, there's another thing too. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. Did you link a video about Mandela effects?
I did not.
We can just go through like top 10 Mandela effects or something. I'm gonna keep this because. Yeah, the logos are what Mojo even fucking did it.
I bought you this Fruit of the Loom underwear on that trip.
How we hold it up?
Terrific!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today
Hi,
we're counting
Rebecca.
down our picks for the top 10 logo examples of the Mandela
Our
effect.
psychics actually.
Tigers start their day with a great taste of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, so they can be great.
For this list, we're looking at the collective false memories people have when it comes to logos
It's a great
and
question,
mascots
Shadow,
of
and I have an
various
answer for
brands
you.
and companies. Is there a logo that you feel has mysteriously changed? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, Ford's Curl. Ford is one of the most influential and well-known car companies on the planet. In fact, they've been making vehicles for over a century. And while you'd think that such a long-lasting brand's logo would be imprinted in everyone's memory, many motorheads have had to pump the brakes when they see it today. A lot of people are confused about the logo's curlicue on the end of the F.
You recognize this part of the Ford logo, and most people never noticed it. There's a weird little squiggle in the F.
Having been a part of the logo since 1911, it's certainly not a recent addition. The logo many remember, however, has no such curl, with the F in a straight line.
Jesus.
Why is that a squiggle? Why is
What
it
the
a
fuck is that?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is a Ford tough one. Number 9, Jif or
Get outta
Jiffy?
here.
While this is more of a brand name Mandela effect, the logo may play a role in the confusion. Jif is the peanut butter of choice for many, including moms, as the ads used to say.
Why did you pick Jif?
Because it tastes the best.
But there are those who remember the name of this particular brand of peanut butter as Jiffy, not Jif. The logo itself does suggest 3 letters to go
I
with
don't
its
remember
3
that.
colored
I was
bars. It is
Peter Pan
possible
guy.
that people are just conflating it with rival peanut butter brand
I was
Skippy,
Skippy.
or it could be tied to Jiffy Lube, the car service chain. Maybe it's from Jiffy Pop, the popcorn brand? Whatever the case, this Mandela effect has made us hungry. Number 8, 7-Up's Hyphen. 7-Up is a fairly popular soft drink, with its distinctive green color scheme accented by a red dot. However, the location of this dot and its role has caused some serious debate.
7-Up cools your thirst. 7-Up, the difference is clear.
Its position has changed depending on the marketing of the time. Currently, it acts as a pseudo hyphen between the number 7 and the word up, which is strange to some because 7-Up no longer has a hyphen in the name. Outside of America, it's all just one word, 7-Up. But in the United States, many recall a hyphen being a permanent fixture of the brand's name and logo. Maybe Cool Spot knows something. Number 7, Target's ring count. Target has a very distinct brand for being an all-in-one
Yeah,
store.
rebranding does
Their
happen.
logo is fairly memorable
Yep.
too, with their red and white color scheme featuring prominently in advertising campaigns. Still, as famous as its logo is, it misses the mark for some people. Target has a red dot with a single red ring around it. However, some people remember the logo having multiple rings.
So many rings.
And while the logo did have multiple rings in the 1960s, folks recall the logo being different much more recently. Which begs the question, is this a false memory or a bullseye
That was changed.
recollection?
I remember when that was changed.
Number 6, Tony the Tiger's Nose. Frosted Flakes have been a staple of the grocery store cereal aisle forever. Front and center on every box.
Let's get rid of logos. Here we go. These are better to follow. Because I know the life is like a box of chocolates when.
Has someone made a change to the Matrix? Hey guys, I'm
Maybe this one's got the Shazam one in it.
Number
Yeah,
10,
it did.
Nelson Mandela died in prison.
This is where it
Let's
starts.
start our list off with the memory that
We'll return after these messages.
Yeah, it's got Sinbad in there.
7 years in prison before being released in
You'll get to learn what we're
1990.
talking about now.
Or was he? A great number of people seem to remember Mandela dying in prison and reading about this fact in textbooks or seeing it on the news. Even Mandela's actual death in 2013 from a respiratory infection did little to quell the uneasy feeling in people's minds that something about the world or their minds had been altered. As strange as that is, though,
27.
it's only the tip of the iceberg.
I scan.
Number 9, Beam Me Up, Scotty, the Star Trek franchise. This line is as synonymous with Star Trek as Live Long and Prosper. It's just a little weird that no one in the show or
Everyone
films
go follow
ever
Scan.
actually says it.
Scotty, beam me up.
Most often attributed to Captain Kirk, this exact phrase is not spoken by anyone in the franchise. Although, in fairness, similar
Welcome at
wordings like
Scandra.
the
How are you today?
How are you, Scan?
Geek test.
But why does this misattribution have the omnipresence of Q? Do people just like the sound of it? Did someone tamper with our timeline? Or did a transporter accident send some of us into a mirror universe? Number
Makes
8.
sense. I'm
Wasn't
going with
Osama
that
bin
one.
Laden already dead? We all know how Osama bin Laden died. The 2011 night raid by
That's still
Navy
up for
SEALs on his
debate.
compound that ended the infamous terrorist's life is well
Doing
known
good.
the world over. And was
Drinking
all of a
beer.
sudden-
Now, back to more Cheaper
There are a
Gary.
large number of people that recall Osama bin
I'm
Laden
chilling.
being caught and even dying before 2011.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
Some remember it being from kidney failure in a hospital, while others believe he died during the 9/11 attacks. Terrorists are known for spreading
Ladies and
half-truths
gentlemen,
and rumors,
we got
so
it.
it's possible that people are remembering
That's the next
intentionally spread
podcast.
falsehoods. But the widespread nature of the
God.
belief is suspicious regardless.
I guess
Number
I didn't
7,
know. I didn't
it's a
think
beautiful
that he
day in the
died before
neighborhood.
then.
Your childhood might not look the same after this. As we all know good and well,
This one
Mr.
fucked me
Rogers'
up.
Neighborhood always began with its titular host singing its theme song.
It's a beautiful day,
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Beautiful
What?
day for a neighbor.
This much is true, but that well-known opening line,
Wait.
"It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood," not so much. Although it doesn't scan quite as well, it's actually a beautiful day in this neighborhood. But how did we all miss
Carrie
this when we've heard the
Declassified.
song so many times
Like
in our
Ned's
youth?
Declassified.
It's one hell of a day in my neighborhood. A hell of a day for a neighbor.
It could be worse, we suppose. It's not like he was wearing leather jackets instead of cardigan sweaters this whole time. Number 6,
Or
starring
was.
There we
Sinbad,
go.
Shazam. Quick question, who starred in the 90s movie about a genie?
I am Kazam!
Some of us correctly recall it being NBA star Shaquille O'Neal, who had a sporadic movie career throughout the 90s. However, others believe the star of the film in question was the comedian and actor Sinbad, who starred in a number of children's films during that same time period.
Racism! That's what Jesse Jackson was talking about.
Others also believe this non-existent film starring Sinbad was called Shazam rather than Kazam, which they claim is something else entirely. Are people conflating multiple movies in their minds? If only we had a genie to magically solve this mystery. Number 5. Hello, Clarice.
This one fucked
The
me up,
Silence
too.
of the Lambs. When Dr. Hannibal Lecter greets Agent Clarice Starling from his cell, a lot of us remember him saying, "Hello, Clarice," in that chilling tone. After all, that's the quote that everyone references all over pop culture.
Good evening, Clarice.
Yet, in reality, Dr. Lecter never says this quote in The Silence of the Lambs, even if he approximates it
great
in the
movie.
sequel.
Is this Clarice? Well, hello, Clarice.
He says good morning to her and even good evening, Clarice, but never that infamous quote.
That's his wife
So,
scared of him
are
for
people
5
simply
years.
misquoting
I
the
bet.
film because hello works at all hours of the day?
Hello, Clarice.
Or is there a more sinister explanation at work? Number 4.
See,
JFK's
it's weird that like everybody remembers things a certain way.
It's the
Like,
simulation resetting.
Just like Jim Carrey just then, made the "Hello, Clarice" quote. Like, where
car had 4 people
everyone
in it,
just
we think.
thought
For
of
as
the same
momentous
thing
and tragic a
at
moment
the same
as
time.
It was, you'd think there'd be more consensus about the details surrounding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. However, we're not talking about a second shooter or any of the other conspiracies surrounding the event. Instead, ask yourself, how many people were in the car? Most reenactments and references in pop culture show 4 people in the car when JFK
Yeah.
is assassinated, but there were actually 6. The design of the car is a
What?
bit uncommon, so that may contribute to the discrepancy. But like we said, it's such a famous moment that we're
Oh
not
yeah,
sure
it's like
how
a.
so
It
many
was like it
people
was a
did.
limo. It was a limo with the top removed. Is what it was. I think if 1,000 people remember the same thing, then your video evidence is the fake
Number
part.
3,
Yeah.
Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs.
Slave in the magic mirror, come from the farthest space.
Yeah, we know you know this one. It's one of the most iconic scenes of Disney's very first full-length animated films, and it's subsequently been used in media countless times when a character sneaks a peek at their reflection or consults a magic looking glass.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, is this not the most perfect kingdom of them all?
There was even a so-so 2012 Snow White movie called Mirror Mirror. The thing is, the evil queen did not say that. If you're leafing through your handy German copy of the Brothers Grimm tale, then there actually is a case that Mirror Mirror is correct, given that the word repeats twice, but let's be honest. You are quoting the Disney movie, and the iconic villainess says magic mirror on the wall. Maybe time for a rewatch.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Preferably
Not you,
with
because you
friends
fucked up
whose
your
minds
line.
can be blown by this information. Number 2, was it the Berenstain or the Berenstain Bears?
Oh, this one fucked me.
You know that
Berenstain
series
Bears.
of slightly saccharine children's books about a family of bears and the cartoons based off them? What were they called? The Berenstain Bears are remembered by many as part of their childhoods. However, they aren't the Berenstain Bears at all. They're the Berenstain Bears. The Berenstain Bears.
Nope.
The Berenstain Bears.
Stop it.
The easy
Get the fuck out of
explanation
here.
is that names that end in Steen are far more common than those that end in Stain. And a lot of us were exposed to the stories as kids and misread
Rain
or misheard the
incoming.
titles.
https://www.twitch.tv/RobinRogan they were playing for their words. Welcome at Robin Raken. How are you today?
Hey, how's it
Welcome
going,
at
everyone?
JC Boom.
Jeeper
How are
Gary
you
here.
today?
Absolutely sucks at introducing himself. But thanks so much for the raid. And Layla's
That's
here
funny,
too.
Robin.
Oh,
It's funny.
Jeeper Gary is a disabled U.S. Navy submarine veteran. Gary
I
is
look a
part of
lot
Stream
fatter
Team's
when I recorded
regiment
that.
at 10-4. The entire year of 2023, Jeeper is fundraising for StackUp.org, which is a charity organization that helps
I was drinking
veterans
then.
and service members combat
You look like an undercover
PTSD
Jeeper
and other
there.
mental health issues through the power of gaming. If you enjoy the stream, be sure to hit that follow button.
It's fine, Robin.
Go
Thanks so
check
much.
out Robin Raken. Give them a follow at
I like
https
that. I was frozen during that, but you weren't. Or you weren't-
www.twitch.tv
you were
slash
frozen
Robin
while I was-
Raken. They were playing for their words.
What were you playing? How was your stream? Thanks so much for the raid. Oh, I don't. There you go. We're talking about simulation theory. So I started this new thing with me and Tantalum and a couple other people. We're doing conspiracy podcast. Well, the podcast in quotes because this isn't really a podcast. It's just us talking. We call it a podcast. I think I need to put Tantalum in the title. Actually, I don't remember. Welcome, Jay. Welcome in. Yeah, put Tantalum in the title. There you go. I understand that, Robin. Thanks so much for the raid. Hope you have a chill evening. But yeah, right now we're discussing Mandela effects. And we're all pretty... If you haven't heard Mandela effects before, it's pretty interesting.
I'm yelling at Jeeper right now for the ones he's playing.
Is a stain on reality. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm on Team
Did I give you a
Berenstein.
shout out? Yeah, I gave you a shout
By the
out.
way,
Welcome
have you
at
ever
Ram
heard the
4th.
theory that we're not
How are you
actually
today?
Hi, Ram. How are
when
you?
it comes to Berenstein and Berenstain, but it's actually proof of like parallel universes or something? Seriously, Google it. Anyway, number one is an even more
Simulation.
widespread Mandela effect. Any idea what it is? All right, let's find out after these honorable mentions.
How are you, Jay?
One of which is a serious pet peeve of mine.
Who is this ghastly
Yeah.
man? Ace Ventura, pet detective. And
Monopoly Man Monocle.
you must be the Monopoly guy.
Tired.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me
Kit
off a
Kat.
piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Jiffy. This one threw me off. I didn't even watch this, but I always thought it was Sex in the City.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though.
In
Just
the
be sure
city?
to subscribe
Yeah.
to our channel and
No, it
ring the
was
bell to
definitely
be
the
notified
city.
about our latest videos. All right, back to business. Number 1, Luke, I am your father. Star Wars
I
Episode
am your
5, The
dad.
Empire Strikes Back. The immortal
He never
line
says
is
Luke, I am
more
your
mortal
father.
than you think.
He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
What's
Everyone
that
who's ever
movie? Yeah.
heard of Star Wars knows this quote. Yet in the actual film, Darth Vader
Shadow's
says to
never
Luke,
seen Star Wars.
"No, I am your father." Countless
Wow,
pop
what a
culture references and legions of dedicated
boring
Star Wars
person.
fans still managed to somehow get this quote wrong.
You killed my father. No, Buzz. I am your father.
What's the deal? Have we all just misquoted it because Luke provides context? Or have some of us come to this reality from far, far away?
Luke, I am your father.
This isn't the only Star Wars example of the Mandela effect either. Just check out secret videos like sometime. You know, I don't recommend using misremembered movie quotes as like a party trick because
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Okay. So that's just like another one of the glitches that happen that show that's like simulation, right? Because it's being reset. blah blah blah. Went over that. There's a video I sent you. That's the last one I sent you, I think.
Oh yeah, the Layla glitch. Have you seen the Layla glitch?
The Layla.
When I pick her up, she
freezes.
She freezes. Layla, come here. Come here. She's not coming to me now. This is weird.
She's resetting. Give her 17
Layla.
seconds.
She doesn't want anybody to know.
She's resetting. She knows you're gonna expose the Matrix. What? What is this? She looks like a crocodile. She's just gonna snap you.
Now she's upset.
She was like, I was comfortable. What the fuck? She's gonna eat you.
she just shuts down.
She was rebooting. You needed to give her 17 seconds. Jesus.
All right, what video do you want me to watch?
It's the very last one I sent you. Not the in the list of ones, not the one that I asked you to add at the last second.
The double suit experiment?
The double slit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Res suit. She definitely farts on me in the sleep because she sleeps like right next to my pillow.
Good job, Layla.
I'm going to explain to you.
Yeah, so picking her up like that obviously doesn't hurt her, but I don't
know. What's known as the central mystery of quantum mechanics. It was Richard Feynman, the American physicist, said, this is the central mystery of quantum mechanics. There's lots of weird stuff that goes on in the quantum world. Hit you with this, and it basically tells you what it's all about. It's called the two-slit experiment. I'll start with this. Imagine you have a source of light shining against a screen with two slits. Now, for the pedants in the audience, this source of light has to be monochromatic light of a particular wavelength, whereas, of course, a light bulb is white light, and that's made up of all the colors of the spectrum, lots of different wavelengths. But imagine this is just a single wavelength of light, and you can see the light is coming out in waves like ripples in a pond. That's the nature of wave-like behavior. As the light hits the screen, it squeezes through the two slits, and each slit in turn on the other side becomes almost like a new source of light, and the light spreads out, it diffracts. And as the waves of light overlap, they will interfere with each other. So where a crest hits a trough, they will cancel. Where a crest hits a crest, they will amplify, and so on. And so on the back screen, you end up with what's called an interference pattern, a series of light and dark fringes, where the waves have either cancelled out or worked together in phase. That's fine. That's not quantum mechanics. That's a property of light that goes back over 200 years that we've known about since the early 19th century. Imagine doing the same experiment again, but doing it not with waves, but with particles. Do it with grains of sand. So this is the same experiment, but I've tipped it 90 degrees. Rather than waves that are spread out that wash up against the two slits and squeeze through, here you've got individual particles of sand, and each particle will either go through one slit or the other. And so you see they will sort of drain through, and you get two bumps underneath each of the slits. So the two peaks is reminiscent of particle-like behavior, whereas the multiple pattern of interference is wave-like behavior. What if we do the same experiment with atoms?
Splitting atoms.
Well, so imagine we have an atom gun, something that can fire atoms, a stream of atoms. You can't see them because they're very small. Let's block off one of the two slits. So these two slits are you know,
Pause this really quick. Didn't they split atoms like in the Hadron Collider, like right before COVID happened? Or was that 2012? Was that 2012 when they split the atoms in the Hadron Collider?
I think they did it during COVID while we were all chilling.
Is that why we were all quarantined? So they can split atoms in the Hadron Collider?
Dimensions and separation of the slits is chosen appropriately to show us how atoms do things. And so far, so good. Nothing strange here. You'll see a lot of atoms hitting the back screen. So this will now have to be some sort of photosensitive screen whereby when an atom hits it, it'll give off a little flash of light to say the atom has arrived here. So the atoms are arriving as these little pinpricks of light that we see. Of course, a lot of the atoms will be blocked by the first screen. They won't go through that slit. But those that do get through to the other side, you can see there's a bit of spreading of the atoms. But if we didn't know anything about atoms, we'd say, well, that's fine, we can understand that. A lot of the atoms are going clean through the slit. Some are sort of maybe bouncing off the edge of the slit, and so they're sort of being deflected a bit, which is why you get a bit of a spread. The first mystery of quantum mechanics comes when we open the second slit. Because now we see something that's very much like the interference pattern we got with light. Rather than having two bands of spots where the atoms have gone through the two slits.
It's called a Hadron Collider, specifically the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, in Geneva, Switzerland. This epic machine accelerates particles to near the speed of light and smashes them together to break them apart. However, the big news wasn't about splitting atoms, but discovering new particles. The most notable discovery was the Higgs boson in 2012, a particle that helps explain why other particles of mass.
Correct. Jeeperbot corrected me. It's not. Okay.
The atoms have gone through the slits behaving like waves. And you get interference of the waves, and you get these bands. If we know nothing about atoms or quantum mechanics, you could try and rationalize it and say, well, you know, maybe atoms behave in a very strange way, and only a certain number of them are allowed to all sit together. And so, you know, me and my gang, we're all going to go on this slit. No, sorry, no room for you. You go to the next slit above. And by the way, there's this rule that no one can go in between the two bands, but a few naughty atoms do. So there's a bit of a scatter. You know, we don't. There could be some forces between atoms that make them coordinate their actions in a way to give this pattern. That's not mysterious. That's just, we just don't know how atoms do
I said, but he's going to finish
things. But we can be clever, and we can force the issue. What if we were to not send the atoms all through at once, but send them through one at a time? Leave enough of a gap for the atom to get through to hit the screen. Of course, as I say, some atoms will hit the first screen and not get through, but those that get through will hit the back screen. So let's run the experiment again slowly, and gradually you'll see as the atoms go through, they'll look like they're just randomly arriving on the other side. You keep sending atoms through one at a time, and gradually that same pattern appears. So each atom by itself is somehow contributing its small part to the overall wave-like behavior that we see in the interference pattern. How does it do it? How does... We know the atom's a tiny, localized particle. We can't see it. It's too small to even see under a microscope. We're firing it at the screen with the two slits. Some moment later, you see a flash of light on the back screen. It's arrived in a localized point. It's not spread itself out. You don't get sort of like a wash of a faint light across the whole screen. It's a little point. The atom is localized. It's arrived in a certain location. And yet, it somehow seems to have been aware of there being two slits, not one, because it's given rise to this interference pattern. How does one atom do that? Does it split in half? Does it become like a cloud that goes through both. Well, we can try and be even cleverer. What if we were to spy on the atom and see where it goes? We can gently just observe which slit it goes through. So you put a detector just above the upper slit that will flash or beep whenever it sees an atom go through that top slit. Sure enough, you fire the atoms through, one at a time. 50% of the time, the detector will beep. The other 50% of the time it doesn't, the assumption being that the atom has gone through the lower slit. But of course, I've been cheeky here. I haven't shown you the results of the experiment. That's what you get. 50% of the time, it beeps, and you see a spot arrive adjacent to the upper slit. The other half of the time, it doesn't beep, but you see a spot arrive at the lower slit. So, yeah, it's picked out the atoms that have gone through the upper slit and not the ones that have gone through. So each atom does go through one slit or the other. But that's a different result to what we had earlier. So here's the last bit of sneakiness that we can play with atoms. Surely now, you know, we're going to get to grips with it. Leave the detector there, but just very quietly go and unplug it. Don't let the atoms know that you're not spying on them. Make them think that you're still detecting them. So, yeah, okay, we're going to run the experiment. Atoms, okay, get ready, one at a time. We're going to be checking on you. All right, so run the experiment again. Now, if you can explain this using common sense and logic, do let me know, because there's a Nobel Prize for you. Quantum entanglement is the idea that particles, however far apart they are, still somehow, their fates remain intertwined. They are still aware of each other's existence.
Okay. So that's like another example of the glitch breaking. We can't explain it at the moment. There may someday be an explanation for why that is the way it is. Quantum mechanics is very interesting in and of itself. And honestly, I don't fully understand it myself. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But there's a lot of like things like there's electrons they found that have computer code in them, literally made up of ones and zeros that like if something like that fix itself, like the code is made to fix itself or self-repair in some form or of another. I didn't understand it, so I didn't continue down that. I wasn't gonna be able to explain it in a way that anybody else would understand it since I didn't. But just the fact that electrons have computer code literally in them made to self-repair. They're part of everything, right? Yeah. Your DNA has been proven to be able to store computer code. There's just so much like code that's found in the natural world without any explanation that pretty much just support the fact that it all is just code of some kind running this massive simulation, running the Jeeper Gary of the world. They're like they mentioned earlier with Neil deGrasse and whoever the other person was, like a good way to make sure that you don't have rendering problems in a video game, because you only load what's needed, right? Which is funny because if you think about it, the fastest data transferring thing we have at the moment is optical cables, which use light, and somehow we've proven it mathematically that you cannot travel at or faster than the speed of light. You know, putting restrictions on physics is a good way to keep your sims in check, right?
Right.
I guess it was James Gates that found that quarks and electrons were self-correcting. Another common thing is like the golden ratio with the Fibonacci sequence. That just constantly being found in nature. Let's see what else I got. So one thing that he didn't talk about in that video, the double slit experiment, is it was actually done with atoms that are coming from space also, because there's obviously a lot of junk flying towards our planet. They actually were able to view those ones in a similar experiment, and what was happening was the same thing, that those atoms were showing up as waves, but when they were actually like measuring them, viewing them with their whatever spectrometer thing, they were retroactively changing their history from the point wherever they left to them arriving here. And they were basically going back and saying, oh, no, I was a particle the whole time. I definitely was not a wave. It's okay. Just trust me. I was a particle. Like, they're just rewriting their entire history, even though they might have come from millions of years away. They're going back and changing their entire history, claiming that they were a particle this whole time. I think they called it retrocausality. So the only real thing I had left was a lot of this is, like I told Cube earlier, the humans constantly try to find patterns in chaos. That's our programming, which in itself is ironic because we always talk about ourselves as in programming and how we act, but we never we explain away these anomalies as programming, which is exactly how you would suggest it in a simulation. So you can try to explain away all these things, and I mean totally you can. The floating bird, the floating leaf, it could all just be a hoax, which is true.
I believe the floating bird more than. But yeah.
Oh yeah. That one, I'm telling you, that one really messed me up. I mean, there were police officers and firefighters there, so unless it was like a really good video.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, to have like people there to help try to get the bird,
Well, I mean, like there were random people on like the motorbike they were watching, and like on the sidewalk. Like I said, either it's a really elaborate video, or I don't know, shenanigans. So it's a Mandela effect. That broke my brain. So there is a.
We'll return after these messages.
A snippet I stole from another video where the guy talks about how this is where I briefly talk about religion. I'm not attacking anybody because I also go after some. Anyway, everybody that's religious typically does not believe in the simulation theory for obvious reasons. And a lot of atheists typically say that this is possible. They also claim, you can't have science, or you can't have religion and science. They don't mix. And same from the other side of the street. Can't have science and religion. They don't mix. A lot of it comes down to like, you're still believing. You're believing in your religion. You're believing in the simulation theory. And like I asked earlier, what makes reality, right? Like I don't know the difference between my reality to yours, but this is the reality we have. A lot of the backlash from people that are religious is the simulation theory as well. If it's simulation, it doesn't matter, but it does solely for the simple fact that this is all we have. This is all we know. Even if it is a simulation, at the end of the day, if we get unplugged, that doesn't, you still affected somebody else's life in this situation. So while it might not matter to you, it matters to the rest of us, right?
Right.
Now back to more. I got everything else is just a lot of numbers that I picked up, and the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, and which we already talked about. So I don't know, Jeeper. I don't know if the simulation's real, but
yeah,
found a lot of bullshit supporting it.